Mana video?
First change your name, Mohammed Shakib.
Mama. Hi, Farana.
Hello. Now it is started.
Okay, Safia forgot to start.
Yeah.
Okay, it's okay. So we have not done much. So you have to remember that voltmeter is connected in parallel and ammeter is connected in series. Always remember that. So whenever labeling is given, you have to understand that way only. And you know the switch is like this switch, and this is a cell, and this is wire. 3 number is wire. Circle circle means you have to label this point, so that is why circle circle is given over here. Okay, so now we were doing resistance in the previous class. I'll just repeat what we did in the previous class and then. So,
Clear the screen.
I take time now. I have to. So many windows are there on my this window na main window. I have to just keep on shifting
Ma'am,
it.
I can help you by being the co-host and making you the host.
Yeah. Okay, fine. I don't require now. Everything is done. Okay, electrical resistance. Now, as I told you in the beginning of the class, what is resistance? It is because of the collision between the electrons and the immobile ions. So because of that, what happens? The speed of electrons slow down, and because of which it offers opposition to the flow of current. Why? Because flow of current is basically flow of electrons only. Okay. Only thing is, what is the difference between flow of current and flow of electron? Can you tell me, Munir? What is the difference between flow of electron and flow of current? You say that flow of electron is only flow of current, but there is one small difference.
Ma'am,
Yes, Amina.
the current flows in one direction, but the electrons dash.
No.
Ma'am,
Electron also flow in one direction, current also flow in one direction.
ma'am,
Yes, Abdullah.
electrons flow from negative terminal to positive terminal and current flows from positive terminal to negative terminal.
Yes. So direction of electron flow is opposite of the direction of current flow. Okay. So when the electrons flow from the negative terminal of the battery to the positive terminal outside the circuit, and current flows from the positive terminal of the battery to the negative terminal. Is it clear, Amina? Munib, is it clear to you? The direction of current and direction of electron flow is opposite. But
Yes, ma'am.
cause of current flow is the flow of electrons only. Okay. Electron will flow, then only the current will flow. But also, give me one more reason why. Okay, Sakleen, you tell me. The electrons are always in motion. Is it true or not? Electrons are always in motion in a conductor. Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, it is always in motion. Then do you feel the current in the conductor?
No, ma'am.
No. Why it is not like that? Why don't you feel the current in the conductor? Because we are saying that flow of electron is, motion of electron is this thing, current. Then why you're not feeling the current in the conductor?
Because of the resistor.
Because of the resistor? No. Resistor does not come in existence when there is no current. So there should be a current, but there is no current, right? You said there is no current when you have not applied a battery to the conductor. There is no current, but electrons are moving, right? So Farhana, you tell me, electrons are moving, but why there is no current in the conductor?
Ma'am, because you have not attached a battery.
We have not attached battery, that is fine, but still electrons are moving, and we said that moving electrons lead to current, right? Mozam, can you try? Why there is no current in the conductor when the electrons are moving in the conductor? When there is no battery also, electrons are in motion, right?
Ma'am, because
Ma'am, if there is no battery, electrons are in motion, but they don't move in one single direction. They move randomly, and when the battery is connected, they move from the negative terminal to the positive terminal.
Yes. So that is why, see, when there is no battery, there is no ordered movement of electrons. There is no direction of particular direction of electron flow. So all the electrons are just moving like this in all different directions. So they cancel out each other. The average velocity of the electrons inside the conductor when there is no battery connection is 0. So when that means net velocity is 0. So that is why no current is there. But when you connect a battery across a conductor, all the electrons get attracted towards the positive terminal of the battery. Okay. So that is why only one direction of flow is there, and which leads to current in the circuit. Is it clear, everyone? Fine. Why there is no current when there is no battery, and why there is a current when there is a battery in the circuit. Okay. So now when there is current in the circuit, there will be resistance in the circuit. Now resistance depends on various factors, because when there is a current, that means electrons are moving in a particular order. When electrons are moving in a particular direction, there will be number of immobile ions in the way with which they collide. When they collide, their speed goes down. Again, they get attracted towards the positive terminal. Again, their speed increase. Then again, they collide. And this way, this process goes on, and the velocity of electron is not that high as it is in the conductor without the battery. Okay, when the battery is not connected, the velocity of electron is very high. The speed of electron is very high. They are moving with very high velocities. But only thing is, they are moving in all different directions. So there is no current. But when you connect it with the battery, the velocity of electron decreases because of the velocity. When I say, you understand now, velocity means speed only. Only thing is velocity, we are speaking about a vector quantity, okay, means direction also we are speaking. So when electrons are colliding, their speed gets decreased, and because of that, this is the opposition to the flow of electron, and this collision leads to the resistance in the circuit. So more will be the collision, more will be the resistance. Lesser collisions will provide lesser resistance to the current. Okay, so on these things, taking these points into consideration, we'll find out what are the factors on which resistance depend. So these are very important points. Resistance depends on the material. Means if it is an insulator, you know that current insulator does not allow the current to flow through them. Why? Because there is negligible free electrons, and that is why resistance is very high, and it does not allow the current to flow through them. So it depends on, first point, material of the conductor. Second point, it also depends on, we say resistance is directly proportional to the length of the conductor. Now just imagine if your conductor is very long, so resistance, I say resistance is directly proportional to length of the conductor. If your conductor is very long, so many immobile ions will be there, and the electrons will face too many collisions. So when the length is longer, length of the conductor is long, resistance will be high. Do you understand why it is high? So that is why I say resistance is directly proportional. Means when length is more, length increases, resistance will be more. Okay, so this is called as one quantity increases, other will also increase. So when more is the length, you can imagine the number of immobile ions are more, so electrons have to collide more and more. Is it clear, Munib? Munib, is it clear? You have to understand, huh? You have to pay attention. So more number of collisions, so more resistance. So we can say resistance is directly proportional to the length of the conductor. Resistance is inversely proportional to area of cross section. Now what is area of cross section? Every time I explain you what is a cross section. The end portion, if you look, that is the cross section. So cross section of a wire is a circle. So if you take a thick wire, your cross section is a big circle. If you take a small wire, thin wire, cross section will be a small circle. So you just think when the thickness is more, you see, when the thickness is more, this is a conductor. So more and more electrons will come out. If more electrons come out of the conductor, that means resistance is less. Why? Current is more. That is why. Okay. If more electrons come out, that means more. So that is why we say thick wire, less resistance. Okay. If the wire is thick, resistance is less. So I will say here, so this is inversely proportional. Area is more, resistance will be less. So this is called as inversely proportional. When I write upper arrow going upwards means increase, and arrow going downwards means decrease. Okay. So when length increases, resistance also increases. When area of cross section increases, resistance decreases. Now I told you, if you have two formula, that means resistance is proportional to L by A. If I combine these two proportionality, I have resistance is proportional to L and resistance is proportional to 1 by A. So it becomes resistance is proportional to L by A. Now I told you when I remove the proportionality sign, I have to put a constant of proportionality. So here the constant of proportionality is written as rho. This quantity, this is called as rho. Okay, this is called as, pronounce it as rho. This is an alphabet, Greek alphabet. Rho means it is called as resistance. This is another formula of resistance. R is equal to rho L by A, where L is the length of the conductor. L is length of conductor. A is area of cross section. A is area of cross section, and rho is called as resistivity of the material. Rho is called as resistivity. RESISTIVITY. So rho is called as resistivity of the material, and this is fixed. You know, density of each material is fixed. Same way, this is a constant of material. Resistivity of a material will be fixed. Copper you take from any place, the resistivity of copper will be same. Okay, aluminium you take from any place, thick, thin, anything, you will have same resistivity. Like, you know that density is fixed for any material. If you take density of water, it will be same, 1 gram per centimeter cube. Okay, so density, like density is fixed for a material, same way resistivity is also fixed for a material. And the formula for resistance is given by R is equal to rho L by A. Is it clear? Any doubt is there? So these are the points. And one more point we missed. Just tell me, if you increase the temperature, Abdullah, what will happen? If you increase the temperature, what will happen to the movement of electrons?
Ma'am, the resistance will be more.
Yes.
Yes, resistance will be more. Why? But why resistance will be more?
Because of the heat, they will more collide.
Correct. Because of the heat, they are getting heat energy. So they will increase their speed. So when they move more, they move faster, they will collide more, and hence the resistance will increase. So what we learned today, resistance, the factors on which resistance depend. Okay. So resistance depends on length, resistance depends on area of cross section, and so R is equal to rho L by A. You can see that when L increases, R increases. When A increases, R decreases. So this is the formula for resistance. Is it clear, everyone?
Yes.
Okay. Should I erase this?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So now we have learned resistance, current, and potential difference. These three terms we have already read. Now, Ohm's law is a very important law, and this law always comes in exam. Means it is proven that this question or this numerical will come in exam, any exam, if it is there in the syllabus. Ohm's law is given by ohm, and you know the unit of resistance is what? Ohm only. Okay. Ohm is denoted by this sign omega. It is called as omega. Okay. I told you one sign rho. Rho is resistivity. Omega is the unit of SI unit of resistance. Okay. So what Ohm gave, Ohm experimentally proved also, and he gave a law. He said that at constant temperature should be constant, then only his law is valid. Otherwise, this law is not valid. So whenever it is asked, state Ohm's law, you have to mention at constant temperature. Otherwise, it is not Ohm's law. If you write till here and you don't write at constant temperature, you'll get 0 marks. Okay? Because the law is not valid when the temperature is not constant. So what is this law? This law states that potential difference between 2 points, or voltage that you say, between 2 points is directly proportional to the electric current. So that means V is, and you have to say at constant temperature. So this condition, V is directly proportional to I, is Ohm's law at constant temperature. Now, I told you when I replace proportionality sign, I have to put a constant. This constant here is R. which is called as resistance. So V is equal to IR. This is the formula given by Ohm at constant temperature, and this is the which formula we are doing? Fifth formula. I think we are doing this as fifth formula. So V is equal to IR. This is another formula which we have done, which relates voltage and current and resistance. Okay, so V is equal to IR. Always remember this formula. This is a very important formula.
Ma'am, V is equal to R, I know.
IR and RI is same, na?
Ma'am, but
Huh? I into R or R into I. Anything you can say, because we have done as IR. So I have a habit of telling IR. Okay, V is equal to IR or RI. Anything you can say. The thing is that you are multiplying current and resistance. Yes, yes, Farhana.
Ma'am, what is I?
I is current. We have done na? I is current, V is potential difference.
R is resistance, right?
R is resistance. So here constant of proportionality is resistance. Okay. So R, if you want to find out I, you will say I is equal to V by R. If you want to find out R, you will say R is equal to V by I. Okay. So the main formula is V is equal to IR. Whatever is unknown, that you have to find out. Okay. And R unit is what? 1 ohm. Ohm is how much? You can find out from this formula. Ohm is what? Volt upon ampere. Right? You know that voltage unit is volt and I ka unit is ampere. So 1 ohm is equal to 1 volt upon 1 ampere. This is the relationship between volt, ampere and ohm, and the relationship between potential, current and resistance is V is equal to IR. Okay. Now, whenever there is a direct proportionality, I have told you there will be a straight line graph. So when you plot a graph between V and I, you will have this straight line graph. This is also a part of question which is asked, that what type of graph you get in Ohm's law between V and I. I is on the x-axis and V is plotted on y-axis. And this experiment is done at constant temperature. You will get a straight line. Okay. And if you find the slope of this graph, you will get resistance. Now, how do we do? The circuit of Ohm's law is like this. You can see you will have a battery. Ammeter will be there to find out the current key reading. There will be a resistance across which you will measure the voltage, and then you will take, then you will find out various values of current and voltage, and you will plot a graph. You will get this straight line graph. Okay, this is an experiment which is always done in lab. Always there in the syllabus also. This must be there. This will be there in your syllabus also. If you are doing this experiment, this is done in lab. Okay. And how do we do it? That also I will explain you. How do we do this? See, this is the, in lab, we'll do it like this. You recognize it. What is it? This is a rheostat. I showed you that day the picture. It is a variable resistor. Means this top portion, if you shift here and there, and these are coil of wire. So if we shift here and there, we get the, we vary the resistance value in the circuit. Here it is a fixed resistance. We have connected a voltmeter in parallel. Can you find out this? This is a voltmeter. Then what is this?
Ammeter.
ammeter.
Ammeter
Yes,
is
correct.
in series. What is this? This is a battery or cell.
Yes.
And what is this? This is a switch. Okay. So we take a reading here. Here it will give you a current reading, and here it will give you a voltage reading. So we write the readings over here. We'll take 4 readings, and then we find out R, because we have got V and I. So every reading, for every reading of V and I, you will get a R. And you should have same R because we are using the same resistance. Okay. But how do you get different reading? By varying this. When you are varying this, you are varying current in the circuit. When you are varying current in the circuit, there will be difference in the voltage, and you will get a different value of voltage, a different value of current. You will take one reading. Okay. Then again, you will move this. You will have a different value of current in the circuit and different values over here and different here. Then you will take the second reading. And then similarly, third reading and fourth reading, you will find out R is equal to whatever reading you got here, V by I. Here you will get, then again V by I, V by I. All V by I should be same. You don't get in lab exact same value, because when we do experiment, there is always some manual error or experimental error taking place, but you will get a nearby values. Okay, you'll not get like 10 ohm resistance is there. If it is a 10 ohm, you'll not get exact 10 ohm. You can get 9.8, 9.5, 9 ohm, 10.2 ohm. So these values you will get, and you will find the average, and that will be the reading of this resistance. Okay, and that is your verification of Ohm's law. This is the lab part that we do in lab. And how do we draw the circuit diagram? Circuit diagram will be like this. Okay, the battery, the ammeter, the resistance, and the voltmeter in parallel.
Ma'am, what is that K in
K
the
is switch.
okay?
Okay, K is switch and RH is rheostat. Okay, so this is the circuit diagram, and this is the actual thing that we will be having in the lab. In the lab, it takes so much of place because you have so many things, devices attached and wire like this. But in circuit, when you draw, it is simpler to understand. So this is the circuit diagram, and this is the graph that you will draw by these readings. 1, 2, 3, 4. You will take 4 readings and you will draw the graph. You should get a straight line if your experiment is done correctly. So is it clear what is Ohm's law? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Clear? Who can revise the Ohm's law for me? Who can give me the formula for Ohm's law? Muni, can you give me the formula for Ohm's law? What is it?
V is equal to Ri or IR.
Yes. So when I say in statement form, you will say V is equal to IR at constant temperature. So how will you state it? You will state the statement as, at constant temperature, the potential difference between 2 points is directly proportional to the electric current. This is the statement. Whenever in physics the statements are asked, you have to keep the statement. So many laws will be there. Physics mein so many laws are there, and you have to learn the law. You know, first law मैंने बताया था, that was Coulomb's law. You remember? Coulomb's law was Fe is equal to K Q1 Q2 upon R square. That was our first law in electricity that we did. Okay, which is Coulomb's law, means force is directly proportional to the product of the two charges and inversely proportional to square of distance between them. This was Coulomb's law. And what is Ohm's law? Ohm's law is potential difference between 2 points is directly proportional to the electric current at constant temperature. And always remember, if you don't write, mark this point, if you don't write constant temperature, you will get 0 marks, even if you write complete sentence till here. Because Ohm's law is not valid if the temperature varies. This Ohm's law is valid only when the temperature is constant. Okay. Can you tell me why it is not valid when the temperature is not constant? Can you think about a reason? Temperature affects what?
Ma'am, because Ohm's law is all about constant.
Resistance, ma'am. Temperature affects resistance.
Very good, Farhan. Temperature affects resistance. So now what we are doing over here, we are actually measuring the fixed resistance. And when we vary the temperature, the resistance is not fixed now. If we vary the temperature, then how will we find the fixed value of resistance through the experiment? Okay, so that is why this value, this law is valid only for constant temperature, because when the temperature is not constant, resistance will change, and we don't want a variable resistance. Variable resistance is here. This is a fixed resistance. Okay, so that is why this is Ohm's law at constant temperature. What is a graph? Graph question is asked. What type of graph you get in Ohm's law between V and I? So what will you say, Munib? What type of graph you get in Ohm's law?
V and I.
No, what type of graph? What can you see on screen? Safia, what type of graph?
You get a straight line.
Yes.
Like
Get a straight line. If
like
your
this one.
You will say
if
you
your
get
reading is
a
correct, you will
straight line.
get
Okay,
a
it's a straight line graph you will get. Okay, how can we change the brightness of a bulb? Now, since we have done so many things, this is the last topic we are doing.
Ma'am, if the resistance is less, the brightness of the bulb will
How
be
can you
more.
reduce the resistance? You tell me. How can you reduce the resistance of the
by increasing the area.
No,
Increasing the number of batteries.
correct. The points are given also. Increasing the number of batteries. When you increase the number of batteries, the potential increases. The
Or
energy
the number of the bulb.
increase, and that is why the brightness will increase. Okay.
Ma'am, we can change the arrangement of the bulb.
How will you change the arrangement? Tell me. First, number of bulbs. If you increase the number of bulbs, what will happen?
The brightness of
The
bulb will be
brightness of
less.
the bulb will be less.
Less. Okay. And so if two bulbs are there in the circuit, in the series circuit, there will be lesser brightness. So you connect only one bulb, the brightness will be very high. Okay, how do you affect this? Mosam, tell me, arrangement of bulbs, how does it affect the brightness? Arrangement, do you understand what is arrangement?
Yes, ma'am.
What are the types of arrangement that we do in electricity?
Ma'am,
Electrical.
series and parallel.
Yes, series and parallel. So what type of arrangement will increase the brightness?
And parallel increases the brightness, and series it is.
So arrangement of bulbs, if how can we increase the brightness? If we arrange the bulb in parallel connection. So you just give the direct connection to the battery, and there will be high brightness of bulb. Okay. Okay. What will happen if a series circuit has only one battery and 10 bulbs? Tell me. Only one battery is there and not 10 bulbs.
Ma'am,
Ma'am, there will be very
The bulb will
small
dim.
brightness of bulb. And
And the
very
bulb will glow very lightly, very
Very
deeply.
brightly or dimly?
ma'am, dimly, ma'am,
Dimly,
because
ma'am.
there is only
Ma'am, can
one
you repeat the
bulb
question,
and
ma'am?
10 bulbs.
all
Yes,
Yes, sir.
Apurva. This
Can
is
you
a
repeat the
question.
question?
What will happen if a series circuit has only one battery and 10 bulbs? What
ma'am, if the battery's voltage
Yes.
is less, so all of them like it won't glow.
Correct. Very
And if the batteries like the voltage is like really high,
high.
so the bulbs will glow.
Bulb will glow, but what type of?
Very low, ma'am.
Very
Dimly,
low.
ma'am, it
It will be
will
very
go
dim.
Yeah, it will be very dim. Why? Because in series, what is the reason? What happens in series connection?
And because series connection is directly
The-
connected to the battery.
No,
But
no,
in
no.
parallel
No,
connection,
ma'am, the
we have-
voltage,
You are saying the reverse
The-
way, Munir.
Ma'am,
Series
the-
is not directly connected.
the voltage is divided among the bulbs. So
Correct.
all of them
Voltage
don't.
of the battery is
Distributed.
divided among 10 bulbs. Okay. But in parallel, Munir, if you are connecting all the bulbs in parallel, they are directly connected to the battery. Okay. Each each bulb will take the potential of the battery. Okay. Whereas यहाँ पे अगर 10 volt है, तो 10 volt is 1 volt all the bulbs will get. Whereas in parallel, each bulb will get 10 volts. Is it clear, Munir?
Yes.
In series,
So
voltage
that's why
is-
the battery will go very,
Very
the bulb will go
dim.
very dimly.
Yes. Okay, so you can see over here changing the number of batteries. One battery, so less brightness. 3 batteries, more brightness will be there. Changing the number of bulbs. One bulb, more bright, and 2 bulbs because it gets divided
becomes
into
less.
series. So they will dimly. They will glow dimly. And arrangement. You can see series may the brightness will be lesser, whereas in parallel the
The brightness will be like
more.
more.
You see here direct battery connection is there, so you're getting that much voltage in battery in the bulb, whereas here you have 2 bulbs in 2 batteries, so they are getting divided over here. Voltage is getting divided in 2 bulbs, so that is why it does not glow that bright. Now see, this is not there actually in your syllabus, but still just for a general knowledge I'm giving you how at power station the electricity is generated. This is about the electricity which come to our house. The electricity which come to our house is called as alternating current because the direction of current changes after every half cycle. Whereas the battery current that we use, the cell, it is a direct current and it is a constant current. Okay, so that is the difference. Now, so in lab, usually we use cell and all those things. So cell is always, or battery always gives you direct current. it is a one directional current, whereas the AC, alternating current, short form is AC. It comes to our house from the power station, it is generated, and its direction changes after every half cycle. So that is why it is alternating, alternate. Okay. So you will say this is power station pay. It is produced at low voltage. This is a transformer which step up the voltage. Why? Because transmission line we need a high voltage, otherwise there will be power loss. We don't want power loss because whatever energy is being produced, we want it at our house. So what for transmission lines, it is thicker wire and high voltage. For high voltage, we step up the voltage so that transmission line high voltage is transmitted. And then it is stepped down, and whatever voltage, what is the voltage which come to our house? Tell me. What is the voltage? I have told you earlier also. Voltage which comes to our house, what is that one? What is the quantity?
110.
It is not here in India. What is it? Mudabbir, how much is it?
I'm 210, somewhat like that.
220 volts. Okay. So it comes to our house, 220 volts. That voltage is there in our house or in everywhere. Okay. So these are the steps. Now this also I told you, how do you get a shock? If you touch, see there is a live wire, 3 wires are there. Live wire, neutral wire and earth wire. You have seen socket points, 3 connections are there. Okay.
And if you touch a wire with wet switch a wire with wet hands, then you'll get a shock.
Why? Because your circuit get completed like this. If you touch it, what happens? The circuit get completed like this. This goes here and to the ground, and this goes here.
And water is a good conductor of electricity.
So this way you get shock because the current does not flow through this wire. Instead of going through this neutral wire, it will come through your body, because our body is also a good conductor. Okay. And it goes to the ground and reaches, as the circuit is complete, and you will get a shock. Okay. So this happens.
Ma'am, I have a question.
Yes, Ahmed.
Why is there a wire from into the earth?
There is always wire into the earth. Why? Because all the devices, most of the devices are metallic in nature, and you have at home, you have a socket, earth and neutral wire, they are connected together. Earth means zero potential. Okay. Now all the devices are connected through the plug point, and the plug point has got 3 wires. You know that top one is earth and the life, and you have three holes are there, na? 3 connection. The socket has got 3. Yes or no? Have you seen that? 3. The plug has got 3. Yes or no, Ahmad? Have you seen it? So what happens when you connect it? When suppose this is an electric kettle. This is connected through the plug. So it gets connected to earth also, because it has got 3 connections: live wire, earth wire, and a neutral wire. Live wire is carrying 220 volt, and suppose if there is some fault in the device, so what will happen if there is some fault in the device and you touch it, you will get the shock. Okay. So why this earth wire is there? So that even if you touch it, this current will go through the earth wire and it will not pass through your body. Okay. Is it clear? So that is why 3 connections are there.
I have a question, ma'am.
Yeah, tell me.
Ma'am.
First, let me ask Ahmad. Is it clear to you, Ahmad? Why do we have earthing? Why? Because earthing is zero potential, and all the device is connected to earth through the plug point, so that if there is any fault in the metallic case or inside the connection, what happens if there is any fault? This metallic case get connected to the live potential, and if you touch it, you will get the shock. But if earthing connection is there, even if you touch, you will not get the shock, because connection goes to the earth directly, because it is connected to the earth. Okay. So you won't get the shock. Is it clear?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tell me.
Ma'am, there are 2 types of connection. One is parallel, one is series. Ma'am, you said that parallel is good. So ma'am, why do we need series connection?
Series connection is required. See, where do you use the Diwali lights for decoration and all? There is series connection. Na? So depending on use, you have series and parallel. You have to connect ammeter always in series. Is it clear? So these are the two types of connection. Those are required depending on the use. If you want more brighter bulb, you will use parallel connection, but advantages are more in parallel connection. This is your distribution board or meter. You can see this is the meter where the reading comes, and you can see the wires over here. This is the main switch, okay, connected to the meter. So whatever electricity you are using comes in the meter and you get the reading, and this way you have the connection. This is your socket. This picture is there in your book also. You can see this top point is earthing and earth wire, and this is your live wire, and this one is your neutral wire. Okay, you can see the inside diagram over here. The top one is your earthing, and this one is your neutral, and this one is your live. So live wire is at high potential, neutral and earth wire are connected to each other, and this is the cable which comes out. Okay, so these are just extra information. This is not required right now. This is miniature circuit breaker. This is there also if you observe in your house. Have you seen this in your house? Anyone has seen this in your house?
Yes, ma'am, but
Yes.
I have only one switch like that.
Yes.
So what happens? What happens if some short?
But
or
that is
something
the main switch. If we close that, every appliance in our
Yes.
home.
You have a main switch only. So usually we have, for all rooms, we have this type of connection, so that if some high current or something flows, so this automatically goes down and protects the devices in the room. Okay. And then you see that if it has gone down, you will just put it up and all the current will come to your device. Okay. Okay, so these are the questions. I think I will do it in the next class. Next class will be a revision class on science. And please, everyone, revise yourself, because I would be giving you scores and you will have to answer the questions. Okay.
Ma'am, so
Simple
next class, this chapter will be over.
This chapter is over today only. Next class, just revision will be there. So whatever we have done, go through it, the formula, everything. We'll do some.
Next class will have a revision.
Yes, next class. Because next week we'll start with a new chapter. So next class we'll have a revision. Okay. Before that, some questions I will tell you. How do we do these questions? Define the SI unit of, no need to define, just tell me the SI unit of current and resistance. So what is the SI unit, Amina, of current? What is the SI unit of current? Where is Amina?
Can I tell you?
Wait, Abdullah. Where is Amina? Can't see her. She's there in the class? No? Okay. Farhana, can you tell me what is the...
I.
No, I nahi, unit I'm asking. I to we denote. What is the unit? Means in which unit you measure current? I will say 2 dash.
Ammeter.
Ampere.
Ammeter. Ammeter is a device. Ampere is the unit. Resistance, what is the unit? Safia, what is the unit of resistance?
R.
Ohm.
Ohm.
Yeah,
Ohm,
right.
Ohm. Okay. Name the instrument to measure current. Abdullah, which instrument you measure current?
Ammeter.
And potential difference, Mudabbir, which instrument do you measure potential difference?
I.
And voltmeter.
Yes, voltmeter. Why is a conductor different from an insulator?
Ma'am, can I say?
Tell Safia.
Ma'am, conductor means
Conductor conducts electricity.
yeah, and insulator
stops
insulates electricity.
Insulates electricity, you will not say. Insulator does not allow.
Electricity to pass through it.
So, but why it is different? Because conductor has got free electrons, many free electrons in it, whereas
Insulator doesn't have any.
Insulator doesn't have electrons.
How is volt related to ohm and ampere, Muazzam? How is ohm? How is volt related to ohm and ampere? 1 ohm is equal to what? 1 volt upon V is equal to
1 ohm is equal to 1 volt upon 1 ampere.
Yes. Okay, a number of bulbs are connected in a circuit. Decide whether the bulbs are connected in series or in parallel. Okay, the whole circuit goes off when one bulb is fused. Abdullah, the whole circuit goes off when one bulb is fused.
True.
Which type of connection is there?
Parallel.
Parallel.
Series, ma'am.
Connection.
series.
First one and
Series.
second one is the parallel one.
First one is series, second one is
Second one is parallel.
only the bulb that gets fused goes off. So this is parallel. Okay. When the potential,
And the first one is series, right?
yes, first one is series,
Ma'am,
breaks the circuit. Yes, Afia.
in this question, after 6 there's 9 directly.
Because I have removed 2 questions. Okay. When the potential difference across a wire is doubled, how will the following quantities be affected? Resistance of the wire, current flowing through the wire. Tell me, potential difference
Resistance
of
of
the
the-
wire is doubled. You know the formula R is equal to what?
V upon I or I upon V.
That you have to use and solve. We have the formula R is equal to, it is not that formula. You have to use R is equal to rho L by A. Now rho is fixed. If you double the wire, what will happen to resistance? Tell me. If resistance, how will the following
Resistance will be less, ma'am.
No, if L is 2 times,
Resistance will be more.
Ma'am, resistance will increase.
so you have to say resistance becomes 2 times, okay? Because L increases, L becomes 2 times, resistance will become 2 times.
Ma'am, what is L?
L is length.
Acha.
I gave you the formula, na L.
Ma'am, I thought you were talking about the thickness of the wire.
So you don't have to say 2 times, you just say increases because they have asked what is the effect. So resistance increases. Now current flowing through the wire. What will happen to current? If resistance increases, then you have to use this formula. V is equal to IR, you use this formula, or I is equal to V by R. Okay. Now if resistance increases, current will decrease, right?
Yes.
Here, you know that if resistance increase, current will decrease because resistance opposes. So this question answer you have, wire is doubled, potential difference across. Oh, sorry, I didn't read. It is not length, huh? Sorry, it's my mistake. I took it as length. It is potential difference. So wait.
It's thickness, ma'am.
I was thinking about length.
So, ma'am, the resistance will not increase, it will decrease.
Let me see how it happens. So you have to use this formula. Potential difference they are talking about. V is equal to IR. Okay. So if V increases, what will happen to resistance?
It's for me.
Decrease.
No, V by I is equal to R. Okay. So if the potential difference is increased, resistance will also increase, correct? Same answer you are getting. And current flowing through it, and what happens to current?
Current will decrease. If
Yes, current will decrease. Okay, is it clear? And last is state 2 advantages of connecting electrical devices in parallel with the battery instead of connecting them in series.
Ma'am, if we, in parallel, one advantage is if you fuse one bulb, other 2 bulbs will not fuse.
Yes. So that is, and also second thing, potential is higher, means all the appliances are at the same high potential. Okay. So 2 advantages you have to remember. Okay. So that's all for today's class.
Bye-bye, ma'am.
And Wednesday, please answer the questions.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes.
I'll be giving you score then.
Yes.
Bye everyone.
Bye.